As much as you can put your logo, design, or whatever elements that you have in front of their face, the better it's going to be, because you have more touch points with their eyes that they're connecting with, that they're going to remember. And in my opinion, that's very important. Hey everybody, welcome back to the FIP Printing Pros podcast. I'm your host, Josh Steinison. Today I am without my co-host for the first time, so you might have to bear with me a little bit. I might stumble a little bit, but we'll see how this goes. We're continuing our series on basically the different topics that help you guys maybe understand and educate some different topics that help us with the ordering process and everything. And today what we'll be talking about is event and trade show essentials and planning, and kind of what to look at in that space. So when it comes to trade shows and whatnot, basically what obviously the main things are is you're obviously typically, for the most part, you're going to be either at an expo or maybe at an outside event of some kind, and you need different branding things to put you out there and really put your brand out there. If you're at an outside event, what a lot of people will typically order is the different like tents. And what you can do with that, you can do different things. You could, my suggestion, in my opinion, is if you're going to get the tent, you might as well do it right and do a full dye sublimation of the tent. And basically what dye sublimation means is that you have the entire material of the tent to design. So instead of just getting a little cheaper version of it where you can just print like certain parts of it, this would be the entire thing, get to fully design, get your brand out there as much as possible. And in my opinion, that's the best way. Then what if you were going to be in an indoor event, what you would end up, you may not want the tent. And honestly, most of the times a tent doesn't even work. It's just too bulky and not enough space, and they won't allow it. So you would want a retractable banner. And I would be careful about using a retractable banner outside. And the reason why I say that is because if it's windy or anything like that, it doesn't stand up very strong to like wind. It's more of an indoor type of thing. And then for both, you obviously want to have like a table cover. In my opinion, the table cover is key, because it's just also like more of a decorative type of thing. You look more presentable, more professional, everything. And then if you got the retractable banner to go with it, then it has a cohesive unit with it. Or a tent if you're outside, then there's a cohesiveness with the branding. And then also if you're going to work it, in my opinion, one of the mistakes a lot of these companies at trade shows do is they don't wear branded material, like apparel. And then they just look like it's just a random person in the booth, like not really working for the company almost. Like, so people sometimes question if they are the right person to talk to or not. But the biggest thing behind that isn't even necessary for that purpose. In my opinion, the biggest reason for that is because you really want that brand unity. As much as you can put your logo, design, or whatever elements that you have in front of their face, the better it's going to be, because you have more touch points with their eyes that they're connecting with, that they're going to remember. And in my opinion, that's very, very important. If you want to leverage different print and promotional products for your company but don't know how to go about doing it, click the link below and let's schedule a free strategy session with me, and I'd love to help you guys out. Look forward to talking with you. Then you got like things to hand out. Now sometimes even what I've done at a trade show, my wife, she makes some really good cookies, cinnamon roll cookies, and I've had her make cookies for me to get people to come into my booth. And sometimes the way to get people into your booth is a giveaway of some kind. Like I said, I've had my wife make cookies to get people in, but also if you want to do a 2-for-1 where it's you get them in your booth to get something, at least you're giving them something maybe with your branded image on there or something that they can refer back to and actually remember you. And then that's the key thing when you're choosing that type of stuff. You have to kind of be careful of your budget and everything, because some people, you know how it works. If you've done a trade show, they'll just come in and grab anything they can get. And, maybe they're probably never going to be your customer ultimately. So you got to want to be choosy. What I have done, and I've explained to people how to handle this, is you could have some cheap items on the table for handout, maybe a pen or something like that that's more on the cheaper side, brochures or anything like that. Granted, brochures I wouldn't consider like a handout. People aren't necessarily just want to go get free brochures. But on the promo side, there's some cheaper stuff you can hand out that don't break the bank, but you keep some more higher end promo items underneath the table, that when you have actually a good legitimate conversation with them and you actually feel like this may be a potential customer, or at least, the conversation went well enough that it wasn't just somebody coming to your booth and just grabbing, you could then offer them a more higher dollar item that you can give them that for a promo item. And then you can be able to, at least not have those higher dollar items just taken from people that maybe not, I hate to say it, lack of a better word, but maybe not worth the dollars you're spending, because, you don't want to just waste the money, especially if you're a small company. Your budget is very, you got to keep that tight to the vest sometimes. And you're trying to do these events to grow your company and not just lose money by handing a lot of free things out just to hand free things out. Now, it's not to say that those people that come to your booth and just to grab the free things aren't going to use your stuff, and then eventually maybe it does get in front of the right person's face, or that person even that came and grabbed it may not eventually need your service. It very well could be. That's where you just have to understand what your industry is, and like, do you have specific customers that fit in niche, or are you everybody that can be your customer, and kind of really like honing in on that when you're making your decisions on how to go forward with that. And that's really kind of, I guess, the big thing that I really wanted to really talk about on when it comes to trade shows and expos. Again, you also have to evaluate even, this obviously has nothing to do with what we do, but even evaluate the cost to get in to the trade show and what you think you could get out of the value for who is going to be there, and really get an idea if that's even, budget-wise worth your time to put into it and the money. And are you going to reach the right people, the quantity that you want to reach, and all that kind of stuff. So really that's kind of some of the tidbits I've got. The biggest thing is make sure brand cohesiveness. Even like try not to spin your logo too much. Stick with the same color schemes, same logo look on the brochures, the tent, the retractable, the table cover, anything you're handing out on the promo side. As much as you can, try to keep that brand consistency, because again, you're trying to keep that visual remembrance of people. Whenever they think of something, they think of you. And if you're throwing this one that's way off the rails, different color scheme, then you come over here with a different color scheme, different logo, spin it. Some people try to be too creative on that side and change everything every time, and sometimes that's just not the best solution. And again, also try to tie it to your website and anything else. If you got vehicle wraps, like all that stuff, try to tie it all together so that you have that brand cohesiveness. And I'd say that's what ends this one. Again, we're going to continue this series. Next week will be the last one that we'll be doing. And until next time, though, let's grow together and let's continue the education on all this stuff. I appreciate it.
It's time to step up, yeah. It's grind time, no more letting up. No, running faster, further, no more running up. Yeah, giving my all, no more giving up. Listen to me, step, step.